Today we're going on a drive with the Insta360 Go 3S. I have a few things that I want to test out, including one of my favorite ways to test audio as we dive deeper at our true first look at this camera. We're coming along for my second job and what I'm doing today, DoorDash. I figured why not bring it along and see if we can capture maybe some funny moments, but some cool footage nonetheless. We're gonna have fun with it. Let's get into it. In my last video, I talked about how versatile the Insta360 Go series of cameras are. Why? Because they actually can remove from the base, or the action pod as it's called. They're magnetic on the back, and there's various different mounts and attachments that it can connect into or magnetically fixate. Now, with that being said, my favorite mount is actually on me right now. What is it? The pendant mount. This mount right here has been upgraded at least since the Go 2, because I own the Go 2. And now you can orient the camera two different ways, vertically or horizontally. It's a lot stronger than the one that I previously owned, allowing me to drop the mount right below my shirt, pop the camera right into place, go about my day, and start filming. We're gonna switch over to this camera and get a cool POV and see what it's like just to go driving around for a little bit. I think that'll be pretty cool. I know this isn't the greatest view because it's just pointed up at the sky. There's a few things, maybe you can see the water tower over here. But since I'm leaned back while driving, the camera itself being on my chest is leaned back a little bit. Sorry, I'm 6'5", I have to lean back in my car. I'm too tall for most things. But with that being said, I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna show what the camera looks like, maybe with a hyperlapse or time lapse pointed out the windshield. Then I'm gonna put it on my mirror up here. That way I can point it back towards myself, and there's a few tests I wanna do, including the audio test that way. I think that'll be pretty cool. But I just wanted to, again, show off what the field of view looks like. This is in the free frame mode, so I can take this content, this video right here, and make it 16:9 horizontal for like a long form YouTube video, or vertical content like, sorry, give me 1 second while I turn, or vertical content like 9:16 for TikTok or YouTube Shorts or wherever I decide to put it. But I can get two pieces of content out of one video. Now it's time for my favorite test, audio. Why? Because it is 100 degrees outside. And for our first level of background noise, I'm gonna turn on the AC full blast. As the AC is firing up, I'll tell you, I've done this test with the Go 2 and the DJI Osmo Action 4. Both of them passed with flying colors, but the Action 4 did sound better. It has a selective AI that helps bring your voice to the forefront of all the background noise. The Go 2 did not have that. The Go 3S that I'm filming on right now, I'm not sure. So I'm currently editing this video. Fun fact, it does have different modes for audio. This was filmed in wind reduction mode, so keep that in mind during the next minute or so, but it does have a direct focus mode, which I do want to test, and I'm excited to go and dive deeper into the audio. But let's check this out for now. But we're about to introduce level 2, where I drop down the windows in the front, and this is where the Go 2 started to fall apart. If I talk a little louder, you should still be able to hear me, but I've got loud trucks next to me, crosswinds, and I'm going about 50 miles an hour. But if we go into level 3 and we bring back the sunroof and all the windows, I can speed up here for a second as I have to get over. How does it sound as I'm going up to 60 miles an hour with crosswinds, all 5 windows, sunroof, and the 4 windows with all the AC going on? Sound. As I slow down, I'm gonna actually have to get back to my house and see what it directly sounds like. But what I can say is I'm excited because I have high hopes for this camera. The Go 2 did a lot better than I thought it would in this test, but it did clip and start to warp and peak when I got to those higher speeds like I just did with the windows down. So we'll see how this sounds, and I'll give my outtake at the end of the video. All right, so I just finished up my morning DoorDash shift. Went pretty well, made some good money, and we got some cool tests done with the Go 3S. We're gonna go back home, and we're gonna have some more thoughts about the audio and just what everything looks like. But I'm about to head through the drive-thru of McDonald's, get my mom an unsweet iced tea on my way home. But before I do that, I'm gonna set up a hyperlapse so we can have something else to talk about when I get there. Now that I've had some time to watch and listen to everything, I wanted to give my final thoughts, at least for today, on the GO3S. Let's start with the quality. The quality of this camera is so much better than what the Go2 was, and it definitely looks better than the Go3. I don't own the Go3, so I don't want to give a direct comparison, but if I had to say, this is now more along the lines of my Action 4 or what a GoPro Hero 12 would look like. Does not have any frame rates above 4K 30, so we are missing that. But we have some slow-mo we're going to test out later in the week, because this can do 200 frames per second in 1080p, and then it can do 100 frames per second in 2.7K. Don't fully quote me on that just yet. Now the audio in this camera did a lot better than the Go2 did. Not quite as good as the Action 4, but that selective audio, being able to pick up your voice among the background noise. This kind of sounded flat when we got to level 2, but it still was able to pick up my voice, and you could hear everything, nothing clipped, which that's fantastic, because you can always do some wind reduction and go ahead and clean up stuff in post. But with that being said, this camera is fantastic. I love the way it looks. The hyperlapse was just a hyperlapse. It was pretty sharp, you know, it was stable, but I was driving anyways on flat roads, so I don't know, we'll have to do more testing with the hyperlapse. I do want to test that star lapse mode. That's to come. I've been waiting for a clear night, just haven't gotten one yet. Last, my favorite new feature in this camera is the long cancel record press. If you hold down on the record button, if you mistake on a clip, you can just hold and a little loading bar will come up, and once it gets to the end, it will just cancel recording and delete that clip off the camera. You do not have to worry about it. I love this feature. I wish all cameras had this. If I could have a way to put it on my Canon big mirrorless cameras, I would love that. Right now, I'm just having fun with this camera. We're gonna do some more in-depth testing, but if you wanna see real numbers and real testing, there's so many other channels out there. I just wanna have fun, give my experience with the Go3S. I'm Brad G Media signing out. I hope you guys enjoyed this first look at the Go3S, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.